What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. We're just under 24 hours away until we are back in Europa League action, knockout stage. Good to have Arsenal back in action after the drama of the weekend, man. I think I've only just recovered from that Reece Nelson goal, man. It's been an epic week if you're a Gooner, that is for sure. And I'm still sending number sevens to Man United fans, so apologies, that will probably continue for the foreseeable future. I hope you're all well. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Lots to talk about today. Bit of transfer news, of course, you can see in the headline, Victor Osimhen being linked with Arsenal. Do we believe it? Let's break it down and see if it's true or false. Declan Rice being linked again. And obviously we'll do the latest team news. We've got Sporting Lisbon tomorrow night. We've got a few players out injured. We'll pick a potential lineup, see where we think we should go. Should we go full strength, get the job done in the first leg, and then go easy in the second leg? We do have some injury problems, so I don't actually think we're going to be able to rotate that much. So, big up to everyone. Number 7 settings, people. Keep saying it loud and proud, you know. Number 7. But yeah, man, big up to each and every one of you today. And yeah, we will do a member stream this week. We will get one done. And obviously, we'll be doing a watch along tomorrow. It's a 5:45 p.m. kickoff UK time. So I'll be live from 5 o'clock tomorrow, early evening kickoff. So looking forward to that one, people. Fabrizio, just click the join button. I do believe you have to be on an Android or on a computer, on iPhone. I think if you click desktop site, it'll allow you to do it. Hey, there we go. Hopefully it's the last year we're singing it, people. I can't lie, it's become like Stockholm Syndrome. I used to laugh at that song when we first got in the Europa League. Now I'm singing it with pride, you know. I'm enjoying it. I need to hear that Champions League music again. Big up DG in the chat. Hope you're well, broski. Big up DG. Make sure you subscribe to him. That's bro right there. Any chance you can update on Twitter with the member streams? Nothing appears on YouTube. Okay, I'll try and do that. Look out for the community page though. That's usually where I throw it in, man. So big up to the community. Listen, let's get into the show. Before we start, I just wanted to talk about this this concept kit that's out there now. This isn't an actual Arsenal kit. Somebody has just made this and thrown it out. Man said the vocals, them light-skinned Chris Brown, brother. Hey, man, don't hate the player, hate the game, bro. It is what it is, you know. But anyway, this kit. Sometimes I think Adidas need to go and check some of these concept makers, though, man. Because, boy, I can't lie. Some people don't like this kit because of the cannon being central. People say with Arsenal, the cannon should be on one side and the sponsor on the other. I think it's a nice kit. Some people don't like it. Listen, it's not going to happen anyway. Let me just show you the detail on the back. I love all this detail on the back. The cannon, okay, but I like the original cannon, you know. I think some of these kits, they have used them. But I know people don't like the cannon central. Maybe you could move the cannon, but yeah, the centered maybe is a bit off. But I like the kit. But it is only a concept kit anyway, so it would be interesting if Adidas were, because a lot of these kits are like copy and paste, man. Man United came with the collar this year, and then Arsenal had it. Real Madrid had it, you know. But it is what it is, man. I could see myself on holiday wearing that with the Champions League badges on the arm. I can't lie, but yeah, it is what it is. It's only a concept kit anyway, so not likely to happen. It'll be interesting what they do with the kits next year, man. I just hope we're champions. I don't know. People saying they want the burgundy. What are you saying? Run it back. Thierry, get the burgundy back. With the gold badges on the arm. Champions of England. Jeez. I'm telling you, if we win the league this year. I was thinking about it. If we win the league this year. You could argue it's up there as our biggest Premier League title in history. Because when you look back over the years. We've won Premier Leagues with Ian Wright, with Bergkamp, with Thierry, with greats in the team. I'm not saying we don't have greats in this team, but when you look at overcoming this Manchester City team that added Haaland, with Pep Guardiola, arguably the greatest manager in the world, and to win it with this team, I just think would be absolutely unbelievable. I really do. But anyway, we're still a long way off, man. We're still a long way off. So yeah. Anyway, but trust me, the parties that will be going off this summer, wild, I'm telling you. Anyway, let's get into the show, people. Let's get into the show. Nimbo got timed out. Maybe someone timed you out by accident, man. You're back anyway, bro. We do, exactly, yeah. Let's be real. We don't have a great in this team yet. We don't have a world beater. We don't have, somebody who is on that world level yet, like Mbappe or Messi or something like that. Although Messi and Ronaldo have been in their own sort of league. But do you know what I'm saying? We haven't got that Thierry yet. But winning the title probably would put Saka in that world-class category, would push some of these players, Saliba's and that as well. So, listen, it's going to be interesting, but there's a long way to go. Let's start off with some really, really good news, people. And that is the man himself is back. Gabriel Jesus, the pictures we all wanted to see. He is back in full contact training. First day today that he trained with the team for the entire session. And in the words of the man Arsene Wenger, this will be like a new signing. Remember every January? Oh, Danny Welbeck's back from injury. It's like a new signing. Thomas Rositzky's back after 6 months out. It's like a new signing. Well, damn, them words come to true here because Gabriel Jesus is back. Full training. Did the whole session. And honestly, I think he could be a game changer for the rest of our season. I genuinely didn't think that if he was out for this amount of time that we would still be top of the Premier League. I didn't see how it could happen. I'm going to be totally honest with Eddie up front. Now, Eddie did really well for a period of time. He's then kind of hit the ceiling and stopped. But obviously with Trossard, with Martinelli and with Saka, we've managed to negotiate. The fact that we're 5 points clear and we're only, 11, 12 days away from the international break, having Jesus back for that April and May could genuinely be like a game changer. Now, I don't know if anybody saw the video yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you did. Online, Jorginho was trolling Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus was doing his driving lessons at London Colney, which is unbelievable, innit, when you think about it. I mean, Gabriel Jesus, mid-20s, millionaire, £200,000 a week. He's 25 years of age, doesn't drive. Which is unbelievable, really. But I suppose a lot of these guys, I know quite a few footballers who play in the Premier League and they've got drivers. They barely drive anywhere. So maybe Jesus just came over here, probably had no license and just used drivers when he was in Manchester. So if you haven't seen that video, go and type in Jorginho, Gabriel Jesus. Personally, I love that kind of banter. I love that. Jorginho he's originates from Brazil. And I like seeing that banter and that togetherness. It's all part of it. And in a lot of big cities, there are a lot of people who don't drive. Too much traffic and stuff like that. But it was funny seeing Jesus doing his driving lessons. But big up, man. We all have to learn at some stage, don't we? So big him up. Please just don't rush him back. And that's the thing, innit? On one hand, we're all desperate to see him back. I'd love to see him playing tomorrow night. But on the other hand, what we can't do is rush him and end his season. Touch wood, obviously that doesn't happen. I think Arsenal will probably save him until after the international break. I'm going to be totally honest. We play Lisbon tomorrow, Fulham on Sunday, Lisbon next Thursday, and then Crystal Palace next Sunday. That then is the international break. You have 2 weeks then to recover. He can probably play under 23 fixtures. So I don't think personally he will play before the international break. But we'll have to see. Snake Eye said I'll drive in for free. I think most of us would, man. I think most of us would. Big up Howell Beast who's throwing up sevens. You'll never walk alone. Hey, it is what it is, man. Throw that 7 up, man. You know what I mean? Get them 7-ups out. So yeah, Gabriel Jesus is back. And great news. Full training. Completed the whole session. And when will he be back? Now, interesting. They put a report out, but it was very clickbait. They put a report out saying that Gabriel Jesus may be involved tomorrow and that he is flying out to Lisbon with the team today. Now, having done a bit of digging and investigating, it seems as if Jesus is going to travel. He'll take part in the warm-up. He'll do the session after the game, but he's very unlikely to be involved in the squad at all. He hasn't played any game time since coming back. No under-23 games, no nothing. Surely it would be insane for Arteta to put him on the bench, having not featured for over 3 months. So I think he is travelling just to be part of the team. He'll do the cool down, he'll do the warm up, but I don't think he'll be involved in terms of the squad. But obviously, fantastic news to have Gabriel Jesus back in training. And listen, somebody like him could be the difference between winning the title and not, because let's face it, we've been freestyling for the past few months without really having that out-and-out striker. Okay, Eddie has gone up front, but he's certainly not at the same level as Gabby, and I think he's just been an incredible player for us. And I do think Martinelli's form dropped a little bit when he wasn't in the team. Oz says, big up Curtis in the C-Unit community. Ant said, I think this is a problem that everyone was bringing up about him not playing a full season before. It's a very good point. At Manchester City, a lot of people were saying he's never really gone through a full season of playing every week without getting injured. At Manchester City, he was very much Aguero's backup. Last season, when he was their only striker, out-and-out striker, they often went with a false nine. So is he... That's something he's got to figure out, Gabriel Jesus. How can you get your body for a full season? Is there anything he can improve? Dr. Barron, I'm at a meeting so I can listen to the stream, but even so, it's hard not to push that like button. Come on, C-Unit community, we can do better. Big up each and every time to each and every one of you. Appreciate the support. And it's been a great week on the channel, hitting 60k, 100k views on the watch along. And obviously, Man United getting smashed and Reece Nelson's late goal. The news goes a little bit downhill on the other side, though, people. Kieran Tierney, who we've all been saying for a while, Tierney needs game time. And this Europa League game would have been a fantastic opportunity for Kieran Tierney to play. He is out with illness. Apparently, he's got a cold or flu. And he was at the training ground. Apparently, he was sent home. And he will not travel with the team to Portugal when they travel tonight. So, unfortunately, Kieran Tierney will not be playing against Sporting Lisbon, which is a massive, massive shame. Because for me, I've said many times I'd like to see him stay at the club next season. I think he's a top-quality left-back. Unfortunately, the way that Mikel Arteta wants to play is not the way that he plays. The longer that he's not playing for Arsenal, you kind of feel like, is his future elsewhere next season? Heard it was snowing. Morning, Big C. Maybe the snow is why Tierney doesn't want to travel. Maybe he wants to have a snowball fight in London. For those not in the UK, yeah, it's snowing today in England. I say this all the time. Yeah, it looks great, mate. You're training in a T-shirt and it's snowing and you're a tough guy. Tough guy, I don't feel the cold weather. Well, now you got flu. Probably because you've been training in the snow in a T-shirt. Make it make sense, people, please. Honestly, if I'm Mikel Arteta, I'd have a little bit of head loss. I'd be like, bro, you're training in a T-shirt in the snow. Now you've got a cold, you got flu, and you can't play. That's foolishness, really, isn't it? Like, just put a jumper on. There's enough training kit in the armoury. I'm sure we can get you a jumper and make sure you're warm enough to be featuring. So, listen, I'm not saying that training in a T-shirt has caused it, but of course, it looks a little bit stupid. Now, again, another story has come out today, people. In the Daily Mirror, Kieran Tierney once again being linked with a summer move to Newcastle. Newcastle are very keen on bringing him in, and it's believed Kieran Tierney would be interested in a move to Newcastle, especially with them looking likely to qualify for European football next season and the closeness of Newcastle to Glasgow. For those obviously that don't know, not in the UK or whatever, Newcastle is at the very top of England. Scotland is obviously just over the border, so he would be much closer to his home. So I'm starting to get a little bit apprehensive with Kieran Tierney. This would have been a great opportunity for him to play. Now he's out with a cold or whatever. And, you know, I can't see him playing in the league game at the weekend. Maybe he gets Lisbon at home. He probably doesn't play against Palace. Then it's the international break. Then it's April. Then it's... Is he going to get a lot of game time? I don't know. Minimum 40 million, in my opinion, if he goes to Newcastle. As I said before, Cucurella costs 60. And I think Tierney's better than Cucurella. But we also have to bear in mind that Edu will be the one doing the transfer. And Edu couldn't sell Ozil, couldn't sell Aubameyang. Got 9 million for Guendouzi, who's in the French squad. So I don't expect him to go and get 50, 60 million for Kieran Tierney. It's just not going to happen. We also have to bear in mind Kieran Tierney's injury prone. And he's not currently first choice, which will probably reduce the amount of money that we can ask for him. So I think realistically, Arsenal will get, probably as Checker said, 35 to 40. If we did our job properly, yeah, we should be getting 50 million for him in the modern market. But I just don't think we will. I think 40 million would be reasonable. We paid 25 million for him. He's quality, but he is injury prone. And that's always going to be the issue with him. So it's a shame for him. It is a shame. Big up Marcel. He said, big up Curtis. Buy yourself a 7-Up, my G. Yo, don't worry, man. You know what? I don't really drink fizzy drink like that. But you know what? 7-Up, man, to all them United fans. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. Hold that 7, man. CR7. Big up David, man. Thank you for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate it, bro. And make sure you get involved in the member stream. We'll probably do one Friday or Saturday. So big up to you. Kieran Tierney, out injured, which is a real shame. Because, listen, like I said, it would have been a fantastic opportunity for Tierney to get some game time. And doesn't look like it's going to happen. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we'll have to see with that one. Another person who is still out, people, and that is man like Bossard, a.k.a. Trossardinho. He is out. He is not going to travel to Lisbon. He's not training. Arsenal are hopeful that he will be back before the international break. But he's unlikely to feature against Lisbon and probably likely to miss the game against Fulham as well. So we are starting to look a little bit short in those attacking areas. In fact, if you look at it, the 3 players that we've predominantly used through the middle are actually not available now. Gabriel Jesus is out. Leandro Trossard is out. And Eddie Nketiah, by the way, who I need to add into this equation, he doesn't travel to Lisbon either. He's got this ankle injury. And Nketiah will miss the game in Lisbon as well. So it creates a little bit of a situation for us now. We can't rotate much when we go to Lisbon. Certainly not in those attacking areas. You're looking at potentially Saka, Martinelli, Nelson, Smith Rowe. There's your 4 attacking options. You pick 3 out of them. Now, naturally, you've got to play Martinelli through the middle. I suppose if you wanted to rest Saka, you could go Reece and Smith Rowe. If you think we need to go stronger, then you can play Saka. Maybe Nelson. I don't know. Or maybe Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe didn't look particularly fit, in my opinion. The other day, I was a little bit concerned by how sluggish he looked. He has been out for a while. I would potentially go with Reece, but I think they may go with Smith Rowe. I'm not sure, but I think Reece is riding such a high right now from the weekend that I would potentially start him. Maybe you could play, Smith Rowe in that number 8 role or even in the 10 role, but definitely options. So we'll talk about it when we do a predicted 11 at the end of the show, people. But yeah. Leandro Trossard will not travel to Lisbon, neither will Eddie Nketiah, and it's believed Trossard will probably not feature against Fulham this weekend either. So we are a little bit stretched in those attacking areas. So we need Jesus back, we need Eddie back, and we need Trossard back. That is for sure, people. Something I just wanted to bring up, and I don't like sensationalist news, and I like to concentrate very much on football, but I thought I would bring this up. It's got nothing to do with Arsenal, although it could affect Arsenal in some way. So, I don't know if anybody has seen this. It's a little bit X-rated, I think, from what they're saying, but Kyle Walker is being investigated by the police over a video of him drunkenly flashing with a woman in a bar. He could be charged with indecent exposure, which, if proven, could carry a maximum of 2 years in prison. Now, listen, we're trying to beat Manchester City to the league title. I wouldn't usually discuss this in any way, shape, or form. I'm not interested. But when you're trying to get that title, I'm prepared to go to all lengths. So if you didn't know about this, get it out there. I want Pep Guardiola's head to roll off. And Kyle Walker's a top quality right back. So get him out. Get him out the team. I want him banned. He's a disgrace. He should be banned for the rest of the season. Get rid of him. Get rid of it. If anyone's watching this, if the FA are watching this, if anyone from Arsenal's watching this, right? I'm sorry. I'm not giving no evidence, but listen, I'm just saying it's there. It's on Google. Anybody can find it. But Kyle Walker, you're a disgrace. And I hope your team gets relegated, in the words of Ty. So listen, we're getting investigated for celebrating on a pitch. These men are flashing in a bar. I want him out. Rest of the season, minimum. You can bring him back next season. We'll be lifting the title by then. So, yeah, get that Rico Lewis at right back, man, the young buck. We can rip him up when we go to Man City. So, yeah, man, I want him out. He's a disgrace. How dare he go in a nightclub and do that? So, yeah, Kyle Walker, minimum 6 months ban, in my opinion. You're a good player, though, but, yeah, you can't be doing them things, bro. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying. You know what I mean? People say I got agenda. I'm doing God's work here for Arsenal. I'm trying to get you the title by any means. Odegaard, you know what I mean? Armpits in May. Kyle Walker's a good player. Cancelo's had to leave. Walker could be locked up. Their fullbacks are a mess. I'll take it all day long, people. So, yeah, man, I'm doing the work. Open and shut case. It's done. He's a disgrace. Anyway, let's concentrate on serious matters at hand, people. I haven't actually got press conference reaction today because we're flying to Lisbon this afternoon and the press conference is this evening. So I may do a 2 o'clock show tomorrow with a quick press conference reaction before we actually do the watch along. So yeah, we won't be able to do press conference reaction. So no waffle. People. Bleck said, ban him now, Big C. Get him locked up, man. Locked up. They won't let me out. No. They won't let me. Akon settings, people. Lock him up. At least for the game when we play against them anyway, man. Because he's a tough right back, man. He gave Martinelli problems last time. So I'd much rather that Lewis brother is there. How come he didn't go to Lisbon? Yeah, do you know what? I did get a ticket. But yeah, I just could. I'm gonna wait. I'll choose. I will definitely go. We'll get through the Lisbon game. Maybe the next round we'll go. I know a couple of lads have gone over. Lee and Cecil. Julian's over there as well. So we will get over there. Anyway, people, let's do some transfer news. Let's start speculating, people. Man said the pull-up was nice. What are you saying, man? Big tune that back in the day, man. Akon Styles P. It was serious. It was a serious tune. I got the final booked. Don't worry, man. I'm trying to get to that final, man. I hope we get there. That'll be epic. Let's talk about someone we could potentially have for next season. Do I believe it? Not really. Do I have to report it? I suppose I don't have to, but it's worth doing. I do this because of Nicolas Pepe. When Nicolas Pepe was being linked with Arsenal, everyone said, "Don't stop clickbaiting. Don't do the story. He'll never sign for Arsenal. He's going Bayern Munich." Ornstein put out the tweet, it's false. Arsenal can't afford him. 7 days later, he was holding up an Arsenal shirt. So even if it's a rumour, I will discuss it. Do I believe it? Not really. But we will discuss it and we can dream. The Sun newspaper. So my apologies straight away. We all know about the Sun newspaper. And so I apologise straight away that it comes from them. It's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. But let's talk about it. The Sun have said Arsenal lead the Victor Osimhen transfer race ahead of rivals Manchester United. There's very little evidence. There's very little quotes. I'll tell you the reason why they've gone with this story. Man said Osimhen looks like Cisco. Man said, baby, that I like it when the beat go. Da 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 da. Yo, them tunes were serious back in the day, I'm telling you. They were serious. Man was dyeing their hair blonde back in the day. Not me, by the way, but yeah. There was people out there on that Cisco hype. It was all mad. I can't lie. Victor, like, surely, bro, like, I'm sorry, I respect the game, people, yeah, but come on. Victor Osimhen is on, I'm looking here, right? Victor Osimhen's on £110,000 a week, right? What kind of trim is that? That ain't no high top, bro. That looks like a sponge. I don't know what's going off. Give HD Cuts a call, man. He'll fly out to Naples, man. Nah, man. Sort out the trim, brother. 110 bags a week and you got a trim like that. Sort that out, bro. You come back to London, you got to sort that. At least get it shaped up or something. I don't know what's going on. I know he's in Naples. It's probably hard out there to get a trim, but it's got to come correct, man. You can't come back to London with that trim. Sort that out and then come back. London's a style, a style capital, man. 110 bags. Give HD Cuts a shout, man. He'll come over and sort that out, bro. Sharpen that up neatly for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But no, big him up, man. Big him up still. Big him up. Fits with the super chat. There are 3 reasons we will never get big players like Osimhen. I've got a feeling this comment's about to go downhill, Fitz. I don't know why. You're leading it. He said the owners are tight-fisted and clueless. And even if by some miracle that changes, Edu is utterly incapable of doing big deals. I get the impression, Fitz, I don't know why, but doesn't seem like you think Osimhen's coming to Arsenal. I'm not sure why. You're giving me that hint with the words in the comments. I'm telling you, Fitz is one of them guys, yeah. He just kicks off the door and the shotgun's out straight away. Bang! No messing about, I'm telling you. If we win the league, I want to see Fitz in the comments. Seriously, I need to see him. You ain't been on a member stream for a while as well, Fitz. I want to hear from you. The clip's just getting let off straight away. Anyway, let me tell you about where this story is coming from. I believe it's cap. I don't believe it will happen, but let's talk about it. So Fabrizio Romano said that Arsenal are looking at Victor Osimhen, which means very little. It means very little. When I was younger, I was looking at Christina Milian. It doesn't mean, didn't get married to her, did I? You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter if we're looking. It ain't happening, I don't think. And then as well, they want 100 million euros for him. The reason they're throwing this to Arsenal is because now there's some big story that Manchester United are going all out for Harry Kane in the summer. Last week, the Sun was saying that Ten Hag wanted Osimhen. But now, it seems as if Man United want Harry Kane, so they've gone, let's throw Osimhen to Arsenal. Maybe that won't happen. Sam, dip up. Jesus, let's not even talk. Big tune, by the way. Yeah, it was a classic. It was an absolute classic, man. I'm not going to start singing it, man. No, I won't do it. I'm not going to do it to you people. But Gunnarola said, I can see this happening if we sell Balogun and Eddie, of course, if no one else aggressively goes for him. Now, he did a story the other day saying that it's his dream to play in the Premier League. Which again means very little because Chelsea need a striker this summer. We all know they've got cash on the hip. Manchester United need a striker. With us as having Jesus, Balogun coming back from loan, Eddie Nketiah as a love child of Mikel Arteta. Are we really going to drop 100 million on a striker? I don't see it. I wouldn't be against it, of course, but I just can't see it happening, if I'm being honest. Cavradonna would suit the club better than Osimhen. Big Alme's a beast. He's a beast. I'm always butchering his name. Apologies. But, yeah, I've said for a long time, Kane is made for United. It pains me to say it. Harry Kane. He would be the English Van Nistelrooy. He'd just be that goal machine for United. We'd hate him. But I can see him going to United. He would be perfect for them, and I think he'd go there as well. Osimhen is interesting because I've always kind of said, is he a little bit overrated? I'm not sure, but he's having a big season. 21 games in Serie A, 19 goals, 3 assists. So 22 goal contributions in 21 games, 2 goals in the Champions League in 4 games. He's 24 years of age. He's having his best season. Napoli are going to win the league this year. Man said the trim is based on a pint of Guinness. There's no respect there, is there, Lawrence? Now when I'm looking at him, man, it's out of order, Lawrence. It's out of order. But listen, this season he's been on fire. I'm not going to lie, he's been on fire this season. He's quick, he's tall, he can finish. He's 100 million. I just can't see Arsenal dropping 100 million on a striker. Because there's so much pressure on you to play him. If I'm being honest, because I think Arsenal should buy a striker, but also we've got to manage the amount of money we spend on which position, because we're not desperate for a striker, but we do need a plan B. We need a different option, in my opinion. I think we've all sort of seen that we could do with someone else. But I just don't think he would be the one. For me, and I've said this many times, I would sign this guy in the summer. And for those of you not watching, it's Ivan Toney. Now, I know what people will say. Ivan Toney, he's going to get banned. I don't think his ban will be very long. And I watched him the other day. 15 Premier League goals this season for Ivan Toney in 22 games with 3 assists. He scored 22 penalties in a row. I'm telling you, I bet 365 Toney, as you're saying. I'm telling you now, people, this guy, I think he's going to get a big move this summer. I genuinely think so, because he's a player. He's a player. 26 years of age. He's done it the hard way, went all the way down the league. Scunthorpe, Peterborough, Wigan. Fought his way back up. 12 Premier League goals last season, 5 assists. Not bad. This season, 15 goals in 22 games. He is having a fantastic season. Considering he plays for, not an elite team. They're a good team. Yeah, Hollywood Bets. Oh, my day. That's legendary from you. I did not even see that. No wonder the man's putting bets on all the time. You're sponsored by a betting company. What the hell do you expect to happen? But listen, Spurs will probably go for Toney if Kane leaves. I would take Ivan Toney at Arsenal all day long. Strong with his back to goal. And I know a couple of people that know him. And from what I've heard, he would be very much interested in a move to Arsenal. From what I've heard, he's a Liverpool fan. But Liverpool don't need a striker. They got Nunez, they got Gakpo, they got Jota. So I think you will see maybe Kane, Osimhen, Ivan Toney. I think they are the 3 strikers that you could see move clubs, depending on where they go. Would probably, depend on if Kane left, then they would maybe go for Toney or something like that. Just to give you a bit of context into his contract and how much money he's on and stuff like that. So, Ivan Toney, 26 years of age. Ivan Toney's contract runs out in 2 years at Brentford, so he doesn't have a great deal of time left on his contract. How much is he on? This says £60,000 a week. Surely that's really cheap. I mean, he's been on this contract for a few years, so probably at the time. Oh, apparently Brentford are trying to negotiate a new deal with him this summer, but it's believed he's in no rush to extend his contract. I mean, £65,000 a week, 2 years left on the deal. I'm telling you now, you don't have to pay big money to get him. Earn 60k a week and sticks it on red. I think you could get him for 50 million quid. And if he gets a ban as well, and you use that in your favour, oh yeah, but he's banned and it's good. I'm telling you now, I would go for Ivan Toney. I think he'd be a brilliant option. Lives in London already. Would come to Arsenal from what people have said. 2 years left on the deal. 26 years of age. Knows the Prem. Unbelievable at penalties. He's going to score 20 plus league goals this year if he doesn't get injured or he doesn't get banned. And to do that at Brentford is unbelievable. Lacazette never scored 20 league goals. Even Gabriel Jesus has never scored 20 league goals in the Premier League. It deserves a lot of respect. He should be in the England squad, to be honest. Aya said, Big C, some transfer rumours can easily be dismissed by simply using logic. We don't need Osimhen. What baffles me more than the rumour is Arsenal fans blasting Edu already over such a silly rumour. Now, do you know what? I'm not blasting him over the rumour. I never blame him for the rumour. I've still got question marks over Edu's ability to negotiate huge transfers. That's my question mark. I also question his ability to sell a player for a substantial amount of money. You've seen players over the years leave Chelsea, leave Liverpool for big money. And yet we get 9 million for Guendouzi. I'm pretty sure if Guendouzi was leaving Liverpool, they'd get 30, 40 million for him. He's a French international. Aubameyang was given away and sold for 12 million 6 months later. So we still need to improve in that department. That's for sure. Wasim said, let's be real, Edu couldn't close a deal with Shakhtar, dealing with Napoli. No, bro, they'd have him in the boot of the car if he flew to Naples and came with them foolishness. You can't get a player from Shakhtar, no disrespect. Don't even talk to Napoli if that's the case. His call said, would you take Firmino? Listen, Firmino is a very good player. I don't think Firmino would come to Arsenal because of the circumstances. Firmino is leaving Liverpool because he wanted guarantees of first-team football. And Liverpool can't do that because they've got Jota, because they've got Núñez. So it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal were looking at him. We were linked with him the other day. He's a free. He's Brazilian. Edu knows him. But I just don't think he would come to us anyway because of the circumstances. So he wants first-team football. He's being linked with Inter Milan, so I think he's more likely to go to Italy or somewhere like that. So yeah, nah. Firmino, I'll pass. I want somebody who can play a little bit more back to goal and things like that. Listen, Bobby's good enough to play for us, though. Make no mistake about it. Firmino and Jesus in rotation wouldn't be bad, but he wouldn't want to come and play and sit on the bench. For me, no, yeah, I hear that one. Osimhen, yes, and yes. I don't think Firmino will go to another Premier League club. That's true. He's got such close ties to Liverpool. I think he'd probably want to go abroad. Edu can close deals in the car boot. Oh, my days. But yeah, listen, Ivan Toney is one for me that I would look at. That is for sure. And it wouldn't surprise me if he is on the move this summer. A couple of other bits of news to talk about. And one concerning our manager, which is very interesting. And it's a bit of a wild one. I don't know if there's any truth in it, but we'll talk about it again. We've got to... I love that for me, no shout. That's brilliant, by the way. Listen, there's a lot of big free agents available this summer. Firmino, Wilfried Zaha, the dream's still alive, people. Tielemans, for me personally, I'm prepared to let that one pass. He's had a terrible season. He's so slow. I think we should go elsewhere in terms of Yuri Tielemans. I would probably avoid that. But there are a lot of good players available on frees this summer we can get. And it wouldn't surprise me if we go for some of them. Get Zaha to the carpet. I'm still ready for it, man. Anyway, Mikel Arteta. 365 are reporting that Real Madrid hold an interest in Mikel Arteta if Carlo Ancelotti is sacked at the end of the season. Wow. I mean, again, I'm reporting news, and then we'll discuss it. First of all, it's a massive compliment to Mikel Arteta, because, you know, this was a guy that, well, you know, as you know, I've called him Cone Man Music. Man said, why that picture? I tell you one thing, though. I think this story is even more far-fetched than Osimhen to Arsenal. Because let me tell you, if you go in the comments, there's Real Madrid fan after Real Madrid fan saying, no, he can't come to Real Madrid. He came through the Barcelona youth system. That's his, you know, he's an ex-Barca. They don't accept that. This is Crips and Bloods of football. It just don't happen. You know, Snoop ain't going to have a red bandana around his head. The game ain't going to have a blue bandana dripping out of his back pocket. It doesn't happen. I respect it. He's being linked with top quality jobs. It ain't happening. Not because he doesn't have the ability. Although it'd be interesting to see him dealing with big personalities. Players is different. Players is different. They did that deal between them because Barcelona needed the cash, right? But a manager, the fans won't have that. It won't happen. Figo was wild, but that was Barcelona needed the cash. They had to deal with the enemy at the time. So I didn't think there would be a day Curtis would be scared of losing Arteta. Don, I'm all right, man. He ain't going nowhere. I'm not scared. Apprehensive? Possibly. I told you, the My Manager tweets in the drafts. It's in capitals. I'm saving it for the right day. You know, it'll get dropped. Big up, Jason. Happy birthday, man. I hope you have a great birthday, bro. Appreciate your support on the channel as always. I I would never thought I would get to a place I would want him to stay, said Alex. Extend the contract. 4 more years. Listen, I always say you got to get over the finish line, bro. You got to get over the finish line. This season's been unreal. If we don't win the league, don't win the Europa League, it would still end up feeling a little bit downbeat, even though we would be back in the Champions League. We just swapped Carlo for Arteta. I mean, listen, Carlo is a better manager than Arteta. It's just with the way our team's set up at the moment and what we are, I'm not sure Carlo is the right manager for that. I think he needs ready-made elite, players. He's been at the top clubs, Milan. I think he was at PSG, wasn't he? And Bayern and Real. You've seen when he went to Everton, man. He's not about that life. He ain't trying to build players up. He wants Benzema and, top ballers. So I don't think Carlo would necessarily be better than Arteta at Arsenal, even though Carlo is a better manager. Big up Gunner Down Under, man. Long time, bro. Hey, Curtis, how are you, my friend? Been a minute. Osimhen is the most elite athlete in the striker position anywhere at the moment. Ceiling's endless. Would be exactly what we would need to solidify our rep. It's interesting that. I like getting info on Osimhen because I'll be honest, I haven't watched him that much considering he plays for such a big club. So yeah, you're saying he's a great athlete. I watched the Champions League game the other week. I think it was Eintracht Frankfurt, and he looked lively. Poacher, plays on the shoulder. Definitely a live wire, man. So big up to you, bro. A lot of people wishing Jason happy birthday. Big up. Bleck said especially after what Pep did. Yeah, I can't see Arteta going to Real Madrid. I just don't think that happens. I don't think their fan base would accept him as an ex-Barcelona boy coming over there to Madrid. It's not going to happen, people. But Ancelotti's job's on the line. I think they're about 9 points behind Barca. And they're out. They're 1-0 down from the first leg of the cup. So if he don't win the Champions League, that could be him out. It would be interesting though. And listen, I don't want anybody to think I'm saying this as I want this to happen. But if Arteta was to leave at any stage, who would be a potential replacement? You look around the world of football, there aren't a lot of good managers out of work at the moment. And also, I think something we have to realise, and something even I've had to realise, is that you look at Conte, who is a world-class manager. If you put him in the wrong environment, it's not going to work. At Tottenham, it hasn't really worked because that environment, that setup, it's not built for success. The way that he wants instant success. So it would be interesting. I mean, Poch would be an interesting one. Luis Enrique, people saying. Granit Xhaka, oh my days. Osimhen is no Pepe, he's from the trenches. Nigeria, says Gunnarola. Well, I'm sure he could do better than Pepe. Didn't happen for Pepe, did it? Mark said, big up Curtis, I watched Osimhen rip Leicester in the Europa League. The guy was unreal. Anthony said Luis Enrique, Flick or Mancini. Mancini would be a good one. Patrick Vieira. Yeah, possibly. Tottenham ain't built for success for anyone. Trust me, man. Mourinho's gone there. Couldn't do it. Conte couldn't do it. Poch, the guy they lord over there, couldn't do it. Could not do it. So it's not built for it, man. It is not built for it over there, I'm afraid. Anyway, let's quickly talk about the team that we should pick for tomorrow night, people. Let's pick our team. What I want to know is how heavy you would rotate. 4-2-3-1. How heavy would you rotate for this game? Let's get a poll up. Would you rotate? So I'll do 3 options. Would you go full strength, slight rotation, or heavy rotation? In terms of your team select, because there are some people. I saw Lee Judges saying he would rotate heavy. He would make heavy changes. He's saying, look, we got to win the league. He doesn't want to risk it. I said I would make a few changes. Some people, Laurie was saying he would almost go full strength. What sort of team would you pick for sport in Lisbon? So we go full strength, Full strength. Slight changes or big changes. Slight rotation. Let me know in the poll, people. Right, there we go. The poll's up, people. Me, I would go moderate rotation. Full strength, says Captain Sal. 3 or 4 changes, says Franklin. Tierney is unwell yet. Tierney has got a cold. Maybe should train in a jumper instead of a t-shirt. Play a strong team in every game, I say, said Elvis. Big C, I want the EPL, no disrespect. We also have to look at it, don't we, and say, okay, do we have a squad capable of winning both competitions, right? We're already a little bit short in that attacking area now. Trossard's injured, Eddie's injured, Gabriel Jesus not back yet. Tierney out as well, El Neni out. So there are a few players out, so we can't afford to get many injuries. I would rotate slightly. I want the double. Listen, I want the double. This would be my team tomorrow. We'll discuss it. Let me know in the comments. If you want to throw your whole team in, throw your whole team in. I would go Matty Turner in goal. I think you have to keep him on his toes. And the only way you do that is give him some football. Full strength, then ease off when suitable. Lee said, I want to see Smith Rowe, Nelson, Turner, Tommy, new centre-back, Holding and Vieira. Fulham away ain't easy on Sunday, you're right. Turner, Tommy and Reece. Big rotation for me for the second leg. Now, I'll give you a little bit of context, right? Sporting Lisbon, obviously, Hector Bellerin. They are currently... they're still 4th. They're 15 points behind Benfica. They've won 4 of their last 5 games in the league. They're not on a bad run of form at the moment, as they're trying to get in the Champions League. They're now 7 points behind Porto in 2nd. So they're in a decent run of form. So I would start Matty Turner. I would start Matty Turner in goal. I give Tomiyasu another game. He was poor the other day. Zinchenko has to play at left back because Tierney's out. Tierney would have played. For me, I will go Saliba Kivior. The reason I play Kivior with Saliba, Kivior's left-footed. Will we play 2 left-footed centre-backs? Probably not. I think, you pay £20 million for him. What I don't want to do is not use him, and then eventually you might have to use him in the Prem, and he hasn't kicked a ball for us. So I think use this as an opportunity to play him. I'm going to be honest. I would have liked to have rested Saliba, but I think we have to pay them a little bit of respect. I still want Arsenal to win this trophy, and Holding and Kivior, that to me is like a group stage level centre-back pairing. I think you've still got to be mindful. This is a decent team we're playing against. They are better than anybody we played probably in the group stage, or maybe as good as PSV. But PSV beat us away from home. Some people saying play Ben White at centre-back with Tomiyasu at right-back. You could do that as well, possibly. I would go Kivior, but let me know. What would you do in midfield, people? I've got to be honest. I'd be tempted to leave Thomas Partey out for this. Because I just don't think... It just worries me too much having him in the team. I would possibly leave him out. And I know I've just said we've got to go strong and then contradicted, but Partey for me is the one player that's irreplaceable in this team. I wouldn't play him. Now, would you go Jorginho Xhaka as your solid, or probably Jorginho and Xhaka? Would you go Fabio Vieira? Defo leave Partey out. Jorginho, Xhaka, Vieira. Take Partey out, put Jorginho in. A lot of you saying, I would probably be inclined to agree. In this 10 role then, would most of you go Vieira and would you give Odegaard a rest? A lot of you saying, I would probably give Vieira a game. Listen, it's a Portuguese team. He's got to prove his worth at some stage. And I think if you're going to play him in that 10 role where he doesn't have to defend as much. That's probably what I'd go with. Give Odegaard a rest. Xhaka was rested at the weekend, so that is 2 weeks. Partey on the bench. Partey has to play, didn't play the whole game on Saturday. Odegaard can play, man's got energy for days. Have I gone 2 weeks? We'll look at it after and we'll figure it out. My front three, I'd go Reece on the left. I'd go Martinelli up top. And I go Saka on the right. I was tempted to rest Saka, but there's got to be points in the team where we're at full strength. Now, I know you could play Smith Rowe, but I just didn't think Smith Rowe looked fit the other day. I really didn't. He was struggling. To me, Reece is on cloud 9 right now, so there's no way I'm benching him. A few of you saying should rest Saka, and I do get that, and he does need a rest. So the other way you could do it, then you could play ESR on the left. We could do that and give Saka a break. I'm just wondering, is this strong enough? We could do that. And then go Reece, Martinelli and Smith Rowe. Is that team good enough to beat Sporting Lisbon? Personally, I think it probably is. Yeah, man, just ESR for me really didn't look fit. I don't know. He looked like he wasn't running very good. Odegaard has to play. I can't trust Vieira. It's almost sink or swim for him, isn't it? I mean, Nimbo said, I agree. Some of you saying the team's too weak. What would you change, people? What would you change? Would any of you play Ramsdale? Would any of you have gone with the full strength back four? Would you bring Odegaard in? Would you play Saka? Martinelli has to play through the middle. He's the only striker that we've got available. 100. A lot of people saying go full strength, win the game, and then go weaker next week. Vieira never wants the ball. Vieira was insane last season in the Portuguese league, and this is why I would have given him the opportunity to play. I would play Partey, needs minutes. ESR seems a bit nervy. He'll settle in soon. Sometimes when you're out injured for a long time, you are a little bit apprehensive when you come back. I've got to be honest. I had one probably, I would say, quite bad injury when I played football. I tore my thigh muscle. I think I was out for about 4 months, and it was my right foot, which was my stronger foot. So naturally, when you strike the ball with power, your thigh muscle, your quad muscle, is under a lot of pressure. So when I first came back, I was a little bit like, I didn't want to hit the ball with a lot of power. I was side footing everything because I was like, if I hit this ball hard, maybe it's going to rip again. And ESR's been out all season. He's a young lad. He hasn't really suffered with major injuries like this. He limped off a little bit, didn't look fully fit. So it wouldn't surprise me if Saka played. I personally don't think he's going to rotate massively. I think he's going to go there and try and get the job done, because then it allows him to go weaker next week. And we've still got to remember, they were in the Champions League. They beat Tottenham at home in the Champions League. Tottenham were full strength. Now, I know everyone beats Tottenham, but still, we've got to be careful. I mean, even if we pick that team, you've got Partey, you've got Saka, you've got players, Odegaard, that can come off the bench and get you out of it. But I'd love to rest all of them, but I think it's going to be a trickier game than we think. They've won 4 of their last 5. They're on a good run. They're not bad. Nomad said ESR was played to get match fitness and game rhythm. I have a hunch it was for this game. I think Smith Rowe will start. Personally, it wouldn't surprise me if Saka was playing on the right. He'll have to play Zinchenko. He could play Partey, he could play Odegaard. I think Vieira will play. And I think Tomiyasu will play. I think Kivior will play. I do think he'll make changes. I do. Sheffield United B team beat Tottenham. Everyone beats Tottenham. Away goals don't even count no more, do they? I think they got rid of away goals, didn't they? Well, unless I'm mistaken. But it'd be nice if we could win the game and obviously come back and have the job done. Listen, we got a tough week and a half. Fulham away on Sunday is a very hard game. Over the last few weeks, Arsenal have consistently played first. One, put the pressure on Manchester City. This week it's different. Man City play Saturday evening. We play Sunday afternoon. Obviously, if City drop points, which I keep saying, I'm pinpointing this game as one to drop points, They've got Crystal Palace away. We'll be doing a watch-along for that. But if City win the game, we'll be under more pressure. So it's going to be interesting, and we are going to need to make sure that we win on Sunday. It's a very hard game. So, yeah, away goals are stopped, right? So it'll be interesting what team he picks anyway. Let me end that poll, people. Let me end that poll. How strong would you go for this game against Lisbon? 66% of you say slight rotation. 18% say big rotation. The rest of you say full strength. So I agree. I think slight rotation is the way to go. I think Reece Nelson should start tomorrow, honestly. I think sometimes when you're on that much of a high as a player, you need to be let loose. And he came on, he was lively, he was active, he was running at the fullbacks, he was sharp. I would play him. I would start Reece Nelson tomorrow. I really would. I think sitting him down after that takes away the kind of hype. I would play him. I think he's still got a future at the club, you know. Saka and Smith Rowe run it back. Holding Gabriel and Kivior at left back. See, now that would worry me. I wouldn't be playing Kivior out of position on his debut. I think if you're going to give him his debut, play him in his best position, and then we're going to make a... If he goes left back and gets ripped apart, we're going to go, oh, he's rubbish. But that's not his best position. Jesus looked rapid in training, might get some minutes. I mean, listen, like I said, there's this report. I don't believe it because I've seen others, but basically, he's travelling to Lisbon tonight with the team. Now, the report I saw was that he's going to take part in the warm-up, he'll take part in the cool-down after the game, and that he won't be involved. But there is a report out saying that he could be on the bench. Now, me personally, that would worry me a little bit, because Jesus hasn't kicked a ball yet, and I don't think you throw him back in after 3 months in a Europa League game. I would rather save him, maybe let him play for the under-23s first, then just ease him in off the bench. We don't need to rush. We've got an unbelievably difficult April. So yeah, we need to be careful. In terms of Sporting Lisbon, as I said, 4 wins out of 5, decent form, not going to be easy. Some of their best players, I mean, Marcus Edwards, live wire. We played against them a couple of years ago in the Europa League, and he was lively. He's a former Tottenham player. They've got Trincao, who used to play for Wolves. And they've got Coates, who was at Liverpool a few years ago. Not particularly great centre-back. Quite slow, in fact. But they've got a few good players. Is it Gonzalez or something? I think he's rated as possibly one of their best players. So listen, it ain't going to be easy. We know they've got a lot of heritage. They had the likes of Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes and things like that. They're quite good at home. They are quite good at home. But let's get the job done, people. The Hector Bellerin derby tomorrow. He's going to be fired up for it as well. Whoever plays left wing, whether that's Nelson or Martinelli or whoever, he's going to really want to prove himself against Arsenal, especially the way he left the football club as well. So, looking forward to that game. Thank you very much for tuning in, people. Short and snappy today. Appreciate your support as always. We'll do... I may even do a Champions League watch along tonight. You know, Bayern Munich, PSG, and what is it? Tottenham against Milan. We could do a double watch along for that. I wouldn't mind watching both of them. And obviously the Arsenal watch along tomorrow will be at 5 o'clock. We'll probably go live at 2 o'clock and do press conference reaction because the press conference is tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in, people. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Take care, and I will see you in the next watch along, people. Bless.